all around us. In every part of the UK are skilled teams of eagle-eyed men and women, working alongside the police to keep us safe. They're the people on the front line, tackling the hazards that place us in danger.
As a family, life is so different. It's just absolutely heartbreaking just to know that he's not here.
They're cracking down on those who threaten our families.
My mum was getting somewhere in the region of 30 scam letters delivered every day.
They're protecting us from new dangers that lurk online.
As soon as I transferred the money and I saw my account say 0, I knew.
These men and women make up the UK's enforcement teams, our defenders. Today, our defenders are called in when a 7-year-old boy is electrocuted to death.
This could have happened to anybody. The voltage that went through our little boy, it would have killed anybody.
They crack down on the fraudsters, bombarding us with scam text messages.
Fraudsters are very good at what they do. Anybody can fall for these text messages or these emails.
And they take on the waste criminals, leaving mountains of rubbish in their wake.
We're talking warehouses, empty pieces of land being taken over in their entirety and filled, tens of thousands of tonnes in some cases.
For many of us, there's nothing quite like an early evening get-together with friends and family. Enjoying the sunshine, the company, and of course, the hospitality of that great British institution, the local pub. But in September 2018, one such occasion ended in unthinkable tragedy, when a 7-year-old boy suffered a fatal electrocution.
As a family, life is so different. Seeing Harvey's friends growing up and going into secondary school now, it pulls at my heart. It's so difficult seeing these milestones of what is happening and knowing that Harvey should be here and he's not because of somebody's negligence. It's just absolutely heartbreaking just to know that he's not here.
As far as Danielle Jones and her partner Lewis Tyrrell were concerned, their little boy Harvey was always the perfect child.
It's the bare necessity, the simple bare necessity. Your worries and your strife.
Every parent will say that their child is amazing, but with Harvey, he literally was incredible.
When I wonder where I roll, I could be fonder on my big hole.
If I was ever unhappy, he'd come and give me a cuddle. He was just so sensitive, so caring, so loving. But he also had a fantastic sense of humour, always telling jokes.
To make some honey just for me, if you look under the rocks and you see the tiglets and fancyets and maybe try a few.
But when you turn up and you just see his big old smile, you realise this is why you do it.
His smile would light up a room.
Harvey Tyrrell.
And even now that he's not here, I'm still so proud of him and to be his mum.
Like any mother, Danielle put her child's well-being above all else.
I think as a parent, you are very aware of safety. You know, in day-to-day life, you're always looking around, you're always very vigilant of what's going on around you. You're just always on high alert, I think, when you have children.
Tuesday, September the 11th, 2018 began like any other.
On the day of the incident, it was a school day, so just a normal weekday. Got up in the morning, breakfast, and then off to school.
Danielle spent the day visiting her dad, then later picked up Harvey from school as normal. To save cooking, they decided to go for a family meal at their local pub, the King Harold in Romford, Essex.
The King Harold pub is our local community public house. It's been around since 1868, I think, and it was a regular pub for us as a family. We would dine there because it was a restaurant, it was a family pub.
They were joined by Danielle's dad, as well as a couple of friends and their little boy, Freddie.
It was a nice sunny day in September. We had eaten inside, and then naturally as children they started making their way outdoors where they was playing on the grass area. There was a lot of family that had started turning up. Just coincidentally, my brother turned up with his friend. There's some more friends that had turned up as well. So we then naturally just sort of congregated in the garden. The children were playing and the adults were just chatting. It never crossed my mind that Harvey wouldn't be safe.
Danielle got a call from her mum and arranged to pick her up from the railway station and give her a lift home.
I shouted over to him and I just said, Harvey, Mummy's taking Nanny home, would you like to come with me? And he said, no, Mummy, I'm having fun playing with Freddie. So I said, okay, then be a good boy. I'll be back in a minute, I love you. And he was like, love you. And then I just walked out the back garden to my car.
Danielle had only been away a few minutes when tragedy struck.
My parents live literally a 5-minute drive from the King Harold pub. I dropped my mum off, I didn't enter her house. I literally dropped her off and started driving back to the pub when my friend Katie, who was in the pub, had called me and said, Dan, you need to come back to the pub now. I don't want to worry you, but Harvey has fallen off a wall and he's unconscious.
Danielle raced back to the pub and was met with a terrifying scene.
It was horrific. Harvey was laying on the ground and there was just people around him.
One of their friends was giving Harvey CPR, trying to resuscitate him.
I was just in just panic. I was just pacing up and down the garden. I just didn't know what to do. And I was so scared, I couldn't even go near him.
At first, Danielle thought Harvey had fallen and hit his head.
It's every mother's worst nightmare, and I'd never seen Harvey unconscious. He was never a sicky baby. I'd never seen him really that unwell. So naturally, I was just petrified. I just didn't know what was going on. I just went into a complete state of shock where I was just didn't understand. It was like I was in a dream. It was like it wasn't even happening.
Paramedics were quickly at the scene and Harvey was taken to nearby Queen's Hospital.
I just remember going into resus and it was a swarm of doctors and nurses. And I think at that moment I thought, this is really serious, like this is really bad. And we got taken into a room and the doctor had said that there was nothing else that they could do for him, and they pronounced him dead.
Harvey had been electrocuted by a faulty light fitting in the pub garden.
I just remember screaming and just saying, you need to get him back. You need to make his heart beat again. You need to give him another heart. There surely must be something else that you can do. But there wasn't.
Later, a criminal investigation into Harvey's death uncovers scores of electrical defects at the pub.
I've been an electrician for over 40 years now, and it was by far the worst installation I've seen. I've seen some bad ones, even some recently, and it was definitely the worst installation. I'll stand by that I've ever seen in 40 years.
This piece of land has been broken into, taken over by criminals, and used as an illegal waste disposal site. Over the last few years, scenes like this have been repeated at more than 300 sites across southeast England.
We're talking warehouses, empty pieces of land being taken over in their entirety and filled, tens of thousands of tonnes in some cases.
Dumping mountains of rubbish illegally not only damages the environment, but clean-up costs run into hundreds of millions of pounds.
Environmental crime impacts everybody. It impacts the public purse, so our taxes that are being paid, that's going into clearing up waste crime. It can impact the environment, so that's the air that we breathe, the water that we drink, and it impacts the general public. It's unsightly seeing these sites full of waste in our communities.
Emma Viner works for the Environment Agency and is part of a special unit tackling waste crime.
We're here to defend the environment, we're here to defend the public, and we're here to defend the victims of waste crime, and we are really passionate about doing that.
Emma is our defender. She's at the forefront of Operation Angola, a long-running investigation into incidents like this.
We're seeing organised crime in the waste industry more now than we ever have before. With Operation Angola, the way they typically operate is they'll collect waste from housing developers or construction projects. They'll then find a vulnerable piece of land or an unused warehouse, and they will just take full control of it, whether that's through threats and intimidation, blackmail, and they will then fill that piece of land with as much waste as they possibly can in a short period of time.
Attempts to intervene are sometimes met with extreme resistance.
Some of these waste criminals can be violent, can be threatening, but that won't stop us. We won't stop dealing with them because of that. We are set up to manage that and to tackle that. This particular criminal group will take whatever means possible to break into sites and dump their waste with no regard for landowners, property or the environment.
Today, Emma's visiting a site in Croydon, South London, recently targeted by waste criminals. They cut through locks, broke into the site, and literally filled the area with rubbish.
When I first saw this site, I was shocked at the scale of it and how quickly it had happened. As far as you can see, from front to back, side to side, it was absolutely full. Piles and piles and piles of waste.
The speed with which these sites are overrun is a constant challenge.
Waste criminals will try and find sites that are well hidden. They will try and put on a legitimate front so that people around it aren't suspicious. And that's why the help from the public is absolutely vital to what we are doing. The quicker we find out about these sites, the quicker we can get in there and prevent them from getting any worse. In this particular case, the offenders had used force to gain access to the site. It was secured and they'd broken into the site, as we've seen with a number of other sites linked to this operation. They'd forced that access and then they'd taken complete control of the site. And basically they filled it to its absolute capacity.
The huge job of clearing this land has been completed in the last few days, at a cost of between £500,000 and £600,000. In this case, that's been met by the private landowner.
There's one small pile of waste left, but it's been mainly cleared. The site had only been here a few weeks. This happened very, very quickly, and that's what we have found with some of these operations, is the quantity of waste that can be deposited over a short space of time really is quite substantial.
Kev Knight is a senior environmental crime officer who specialises in investigating serious waste crime.
Like any crime scene, we will go there and look around the area for CCTV. We will look for witnesses of people dumping it. We will deploy officers out there to try to capture images if we can. The offenders are well organised. They've been doing it for a number of years now, and they are a very well organised group of offenders, and they've got it down to a fine art.
Operation Angola is an ongoing investigation. So far, it's resulted in 19 successful prosecutions.
Environment Agency officers have worked tirelessly to deal with Operation Angola with the help of our partners such as police officers, local authority officers, and we won't stop now. We will carry on until we see these sites reduced to nothing.
Emma wants bigger fines handed out by the courts to ensure waste crime doesn't pay.
There's a lot of money to be made in waste crime. When you're not disposing of your waste legally, when you're not handling it properly, that there is money to be made. Our job in investigations like these is to gather the evidence that we can then put in front of a court. One of the frustrations is where the fine just doesn't fit the crime. We need waste crime to not pay. We need to remove that financial benefit.
There are some very powerful and rich organised crime groups behind this, and that's the groups that we're trying to tackle at the moment. There's a lot of money in waste crime.
The work of our defenders is having an impact, and the number of incidents has been falling.
Over the last 12 months, we've had 15 sites relating to Operation Angola, but prior to that, we were getting 2 to 3 a week. So the intervention by the partner agencies and ourselves is pushing that waste crime down, it's reducing it in number. We've done that through a number of different methods: vehicle seizures, prosecutions, working with landowners. So alongside the prosecution, those prevention and disruption methods are really starting to make a difference.
As far as this site in Croydon is concerned, Emma and her team are determined to bring the culprits to justice.
This investigation is underway. We are looking at who is responsible, we are gathering evidence, and then we will use that evidence to put together a case for court. We are incredibly determined to bring the people responsible for this to justice, and other waste criminals responsible for committing crime all across the country. It's part of the Environment Agency's strategic priorities, it's part of our core work. My message for those responsible for waste crime is it will not pay and you will not get away with it.
Millions of us receive scam text messages like these. About anything from parcel deliveries to energy rebates. They look genuine, but they're fake. And they're helping fraudsters pocket millions of pounds of our money.
It's a sad thing to say, but they're professionals at what they do. They're clever at what they do. Nobody is immune from fraudsters. It's too easy to say it's elderly people that can fall for these scams. It's anybody.
Emmeline Hartley is an aspiring young actor.
I love acting, like that is my first love. The buzz of being in front of an audience on the stage is just like none other. There's a feeling that you get when you get so immersed into a role that you just lose yourself for a moment, and afterwards you're like, wow, what just happened?
Like many of us, Emmeline uses text messages and emails as part of her everyday life, and even gives other people advice on how to avoid a scam.
I use technology every single day for everything I do, and I would say that I'm tech savvy. I've helped people so many times to identify scams. I help a lot of people to recognise those scams. I'm an admin of several Facebook groups that help people with that kind of thing, including text messages that are clearly coming from dodgy numbers, from dodgy places, as well as emails that come through, you know, being able to check the actual email address and the domain of the email address, checking websites to check they're real. I do that stuff all the time, so I would say that I'm quite switched on with that kind of thing.
Emmeline never expected to fall for a scam text message herself. But in March 2021, when she was a hard-up drama student, that's exactly what happened.
It was the day before my birthday. I had 2% battery and I was walking somewhere. I was in a rush.
A text flashed up on Emmeline's phone, seemingly from the Royal Mail.
It came from a mobile number, but then I've seen that before with companies, so that didn't scream anything to me at the time.
They had a package for her, but there was a £2.99 shipping fee owed on it. Emmeline assumed it was a birthday present, so decided to pay.
I've done that before. I've paid an additional postage fee where someone hasn't paid the correct postage when they've sent me a package. Sometimes people send packages without warning me, so I wasn't really to know whose it was. Could have been anyone. I checked the text, I clicked through to the website. The website was an identical copy of the Royal Mail website, and I clicked through things like the Contact Us link, and I clicked, just to check.
Emmeline clicked on the link and was directed to the Royal Mail website. It looked completely genuine, but it was a scam. Beth Harris is head of the Unauthorised Business Department at the Financial Conduct Authority.
Any of us can be a target, because I just think it's catching you in that moment. If you were expecting that delivery, or there was something and you suddenly get an email about it and it triggers something in you and you're trying to do 6 things at once, it's so easy then to just click that link. If in doubt, just delete it. If it's the legitimate firm, they will try and get in touch with you. You know, if they really have got a delivery for you, you'll get to the bottom of that. You'll get your package, so just don't click on the link.
Emmeline put in her personal information as requested: name, address, date of birth.
Every time it asked me a question, I was thinking, why would they need that? I found a justification in my head why they might need it. It asked for my mobile number, for example, and I thought, well, I mean, when you're sending a gift to someone on Amazon or whatever, you put their number in to make sure that they're in, or they can be contacted by the delivery people. So it makes sense they might ask for my number to confirm that it's me.
Then they asked for Emmeline's bank account and debit card details in order to take the £2.99 shipping fee.
In my bank account, if they took more than the £2.99, I only had like 20 quid in there at the time. The money was in another account. And in my head, I talked myself through it and you think, could anyone steal these details or do anything, you know, with them? And I decided, no, they can't. They didn't ask me for my mother's maiden name, you know what I mean?
Emmeline completed the form, and moments later, the battery on her phone went dead.
Immediately afterwards, when my phone died, I thought, like, should I have done that? Was that right? And then I just thought, oh, well, you know, what could a scammer possibly do with that information?
What Emmeline didn't realise was that the text message was just the beginning. She was about to fall victim to a far bigger, far more elaborate fraud.
The next day, which was my birthday, they called me at 5 to 2, and I had a friend coming over at 2 because we were going to go for a nice socially distanced walk. So I was already kind of like, oh, not now.
The caller said he was from Barclays Bank. He had some worrying news.
He seemed professional and quite well-spoken. We just wanted to alert you, like 3 transactions have just tried to leave your card in the last 24 hours. Do you recognise any of these transactions? I said no. Then they proceeded to tell me that it's okay. They've stopped the transactions. They thought it was weird. They've stopped them. And then they said, is there anything that I could have done in recent days that would have enabled scammers to get my information? And then I was like, oh, God, that was yesterday. I sent my details in a stupid Royal Mail thing, which part of me knew was dodgy, and I did it anyway because I managed to justify it all to myself.
The fraudulent transactions had now been blocked. It had been a lucky escape. Or at least, that's what Emmeline thought.
And I really beat myself up at that point. And I was apologising profusely to them for making such a stupid mistake and for, you know, wasting their time.
Emmeline was told she now needed a new debit card.
We're going to just have to cancel your card and send you a new one. I need to take you through security to be able to do this. And they asked me security questions like, what accounts have I got and what amounts are in them and things like that. And I've been asked things like that before. I'm sure I have. And I've been asked questions like, how much are these direct debits? And, you know, about specific things on my bank statement. So it didn't cross my mind that that was weird at the time.
Emmeline was informed her debit card had now been cancelled.
They told me I'd get a new one in the post. They took me through all of the things that Barclays say to me on the phone, the exact script. So I was familiar with that script and they took me through it all. It's the details that made it so convincing.
Then, just to be safe, he issued Emmeline with new account details.
He'd given me a new account number and sort code and said, right, these are going to act as your account number and sort code for the time being, and they're basically going to be there like a wall to hide your details behind. It was all very confusing. I didn't understand it.
Emmeline was suspicious and checked the number he was calling from. It was the same number as the Barclays fraud helpline, so it seemed genuine.
Once I felt a bit more confident that it was my bank that I was speaking to, I transferred in the instalments he asked for everything I had, my last pennies.
Emmeline had just been scammed out of her savings, a total of £1,000.
As soon as I transferred the money and I saw my account say 0, I then just knew that something wasn't right. When the realisation kicked in, I just fell apart. I was completely crushed. I had a panic attack. I had a complete meltdown. I started screaming at him on the phone and crying and desperately trying to get my money back, trying to plead with him to have mercy on me and to be human and to understand the impact this was going to have on me.
Emmeline didn't even have enough money to get to and from uni. But her pleas were ignored.
It's not just the, oh my God, I have no money, but it's the humiliation and the embarrassment and just the feeling of stupidity and, I transferred that money. I did that. That was me. I was in control of that. I was the idiot.
Anybody is capable of being scammed. It's catching you at that moment when you're vulnerable and you're trying to do too many things at once and you act quickly. You need to stop, stand back, think, did I ask for this email? Did I ask for this text? Did I ask for this phone call? And if you didn't, hang up, delete the text, delete the email.
I'm sure that they deliberately did it on my birthday because everyone has plans on their birthday, right? And I fell for it because I was rushing and I was vulnerable and I was being emotionally manipulated. A lot of people think that older people are more susceptible to scams like this, and it comes down to whether or not you're tech savvy. People spend a lot of time and effort trying to make people aware of what technological red flags to look for and stuff like that. I understand how all that stuff works, and anyone is susceptible to it.
Later, our defenders close in on a fraudster sending out thousands of scam texts.
The breakthrough in this investigation was the evidence that we found on digital devices, so the telephones and the computers, which gave us the evidence of fake websites, which gave us the evidence of software that was used to send out bulk text messages to people.
Earlier, a family get-together at the local pub ended in tragedy.
We got taken into a room and the doctor had said that there was nothing else that they could do for him, and they pronounced him dead.
7-year-old Harvey had been playing in the beer garden when he received a massive electric shock.
And my initial reaction was anger because naturally in a public place you expect things like electricity to be safe, and it wasn't.
Harvey had touched a metal rail while sitting on a defective light fitting built into the wall.
This could have happened to anybody, and it was just bad luck that Harvey had touched the metal railing and touched the light at the same time. The voltage that went through our little boy, it would have killed anybody.
A criminal investigation got underway, with the police and health and safety executive working side by side. Terry Sheehan is an electrician with more than 40 years' experience.
On arrival, my plan was to assist the HSE on testing and inspecting the one circuit that fatally killed Harvey.
It was quickly evident that this was a much bigger problem.
When I first saw the fuse board where the circuit was connected, immediately you see it was a mess. It was total shambles. You thought, how has anyone ever installed that?
Terry is our defender.
Within a couple of hours, the police asked if we could carry out a further in-depth investigation, and one guy on his own was never going to be able to do that. It was too large a job.
Terry called in more electricians, and between them, they systematically tested and inspected installations throughout the premises.
Generally, a pub will have a lot of circuits installed, depending on the size of the public house. It could go from 20 circuits up to perhaps 200 circuits.
Terry and his team discovered 12 defects that were an immediate danger, and another 32 that were potentially dangerous.
The whole installation was one problem after another. Faults were all over. There was many circuits in the premises that were overloaded, wrong size cables or wrong size fuse protection to a particular size cable. There was one circuit that had the coffee machine plugged into it and the socket terminals were burning. It was just a very bad installation. There's many faults.
The light fitting Harvey was sitting on was, in effect, live, and was the direct cause of his death.
That live fault is looking for somewhere to go. The moment he touched the metal railings and grabbed hold of the metal railings, that circuit has now got somewhere to travel to Earth, because the railings are bolted to the ground, installed into the ground. The electricity then flows through the light fitting casing, through Harvey, and through the railings to Earth. I'd done my apprenticeship with my stepfather, his contracting company, and most of our work was installations of public houses. And I saw some bad ones then, but this one is by far the worst installation I've ever seen in 40 years of contracting.
Terry's report was damning. In court, the judge described the pub as a time bomb waiting to go off.
They had recently had a refurb, so walking past and entering the pub, you know, the makeup of the pub, it looked nice. It's just so scary to think that you can go into somewhere and that is going on behind the scenes.
Shelley Asquith is the TUC's Health and Safety Policy Officer.
It's such an ordinary thing to take your family to the pub or some kind of leisure facility and know that they're safe and that their children can play around without risk of injury. It is the duty holder's responsibility to make sure that's the case, to make sure they're following health and safety legislation and they've got safety mechanisms in place.
The pub's owner, David Behrman, pleaded guilty to gross negligence manslaughter. In April 2021, Behrman was jailed for 9 years. Electrician Colin Naylor installed the lighting in June 2018, 3 months before Harvey's death. Naylor was jailed for 1 year for failing to discharge a duty under the Health and Safety at Work Act.
Obviously, no amount of sentence is ever going to bring Harvey back. However, I do believe that they were punished and I was content with the outcome.
In April 2022, the Health and Safety Executive urged hospitality venues to check outdoor electrical installations. And Danielle is campaigning for stricter pub safety laws.
My whole outlook on dining out and going to public places has changed dramatically. I'm petrified because you could touch something and it be live and you're completely unaware. If there had been regular inspections, then the findings on the pub would have been clear that it was unsafe. And I believe that if them checks had been carried out, then Harvey would still be here today.
Danielle and Lewis have a new young family. and are building a new future. But they'll never forget Harvey, or the work of our defenders in getting justice on his behalf.
I'm forever thankful for Terry and his team for going into the pub, because without his reports, his intricate details, and him being just completely honest with the findings, it helped to convict both men. Harvey will always be a part of our lives. We talk about him every day. Our other children will know everything about him. And I just think keeping his memory alive and keeping him part and close to the family is just extremely important.
Earlier, drama student Emmeline Hartley lost her savings when she fell victim to a scam text message.
It's not just the, oh my God, I have no money, but it's the humiliation and the embarrassment and just the feeling of stupidity.
Fraudsters are very good at what they do, and the text message or email that you receive will look like a trusted organisation that you've dealt with previously.
Detective Chief Inspector Gary Robinson is part of the dedicated Card and Payment Crime Unit, a specialist unit fighting fraud.
There's an awful lot of money lost to fraud throughout the year. Criminals are becoming more and more adept at adjusting their MOs and how they target individuals.
Gary is our defender.
We are at the front edge of things, going out and arresting individuals, putting them before the courts and hopefully seeing them serve a prison sentence.
Gary's team received a tip-off from a mobile phone provider about computer science student Abdisalam Dahir. Dahir was sending out bogus text messages, claiming to be from organisations like the Royal Mail or HMRC.
The text messages that Dahir was sending out are very convincing. They will come to your phone, they will 9 times out of 10 spoof the number so they appear as, for example, Royal Mail or HMRC. The messages are fairly simple and they would appear exactly as you would expect them to appear, and that's the trick of it.
Just like in Emmeline's case, the messages Dahir was sending out contained links to fake web pages.
If you were to click on the link, you'd be taken to a website which, to the untrained eye, you or I, we would not tell any difference between that and the genuine website that you think you were going to.
You'd then be tricked into handing over your personal and bank account details.
You would input your name and address because that's where the parcel is being delivered. You would be asked to pay a nominal fee that's still required for that delivery of that parcel, and you'd put your bank card details in the secure code on the back, and immediately you have a name and address and a bank card detail to back that up.
Gary's team had Dahir in their sights and were keen to put a stop to his criminal activity as soon as possible.
As a unit, we are very determined and motivated to go and arrest these people that are causing pain to innocent members of the public. Fraud is an issue for us. That's obviously what we're focusing on. We don't like seeing people fall victims to scams. Before we do any kind of arrest, we have to be fairly satisfied that we have, the right individual, and we're going to find evidence of what we need to make sure that we have a conviction at court. So before we went through the door of Mr. Dahir and arrested him, we were satisfied that we had the right person.
Dahir was arrested and his North London home was searched.
When we execute jobs, there is always a chance that we will not find the evidence that we need. Times have changed quite a lot. You know, gone are the days when you'd go through a house and you're looking for a checkbook or through an old steel filing cabinet for paperwork. It is digital these days. What comes with that is it takes some time to examine a telephone or a laptop, so we might not know straight away if we've got the evidence required or not.
Gary's team seized £10,000 in cash, as well as electronic devices including mobile phones and computers. Those devices contained personal details belonging to his potential victims.
It's really difficult to put on a number in terms of how many messages that were sent out. What we can say from the evidence that we've found within devices is that he had over 23,000 telephone numbers relating to innocent members of the public on his computer. So we know he was prolific.
One of his phones contained login details for 134 different online banking accounts. Between December 2019 and May 2021, De Geer had conned thousands of victims.
I don't wish to give too much credit to De Geer, but it required a degree of knowledge. He certainly had the requisite software to send out bulk text messages, and he certainly had the ability and capability to create websites which innocent members of the public would fall victim to.
De Geer pleaded guilty and was jailed for 1 year, 10 months.
It's nice for us that a custodial sentence was passed. Do I think De Geer deserved longer than 22 months? Yes, I do, but then I think that for all fraudsters.
Our defenders are joining forces with the banks, the telecommunications industry, and social media companies. They're determined to stop fraudsters from getting their hands on our money.
Collaboration, partnership, alliances are the way forward. It's the way of the future. Policing alone can't combat this problem of fraud. It's a collective voice that's needed, and as things develop and move quickly, then it's a case of bringing everyone together to find solutions and to share those intelligence that we can identify the fraudsters and go and arrest people.
Emmeline's posted messages on Facebook and Twitter to warn others about how these fraudsters work.
I kept playing it all through my head again and again, all of the nuances and the details, the intricate details of that whole conversation, and I just still couldn't believe it. Everybody feels humiliated and ashamed, and therefore they don't tell anybody about it and they just suffer in silence. But actually there isn't anything to be ashamed of. Talk about it, tell people about it. It's the only way they might be able to recognise if it happens to them.
Meanwhile, Gary's team is having some great results in its ongoing fight against fraud.
It's a very, very successful team. Last year, we prevented £101 million worth of fraud to the banking industry. We had 41 disruptions against organised crime groups, and we arrested 123 people. That's a phenomenal effort from a reasonably small team.
Our defenders are working tirelessly on our behalf, protecting our homes, our families, and our communities.
Some of these waste criminals can be violent, can be threatening, but that won't stop us. We're here to defend the environment, we're here to defend the public, and we're here to defend the victims of waste crime, and we are really passionate about doing that.
It's a bit good, this, isn't it? Join Sarah Lancashire for the final ever series of Happy Valley. Press red to watch now on iPlayer. And if you love your cricket, with England currently touring South Africa, catch up with the new series of Tailenders on BBC Sounds.